but it's also uncomfortable for me as a people pleaser, as somebody who is like, oh, like people aren't gonna like that I'm selling and that I'm selling a lot. But I also like, I know how to push that edge because it needs to be pushed. If I don't, then I will just end up not signing the clients who I'm supposed to sign. I will not make the money that I'm supposed to make because I'm too afraid to sell.
Welcome to Did I Stutter with Jill Perick. And yeah, I probably did because I have a stuttering disability. But I'm also a multiple six-figure business and mindset coach who's here to help you shut down the mindfuckery of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and playing the nice girl in your content so you and your brand can blow the fuck up and so you can stack the motherfucking cash. I'm holding absolutely nothing back. We're talking marketing, messaging, mindset, subconscious healing, nervous system regulation, and how to do it all even with raging anxiety, ADHD, and just being a fucking human. If fuck is one of your favorite words and nothing can get in between you, your iced coffee, or the work that you're here to do, I'm your girl. Let's dive in.
Hello, my friends. How are we? Welcome back to the pod. And as you're listening to this, my birthday sale is in full effect. And we have some pretty amazing offers available for the birthday sale. So head to the link in my show notes so you can see what all is available there. We have the Roast Me Please audit, and that is an audit of your entire Instagram. I tell you where you are leaking sales, what you can clean up, suggest things for you to post on your feed. So that is a really great offer, and it's on sale from $55 to $19. So those audits are on sale. We also have the Velvet Room, and that is a one-to-one intensive with me, as well as a one-to-one week in Telegram after. And that is going to be an intensive where you're going to stop letting any subconscious blocks run your business. You're going to stop posting content that doesn't convert into high ticket clients, and you're going to completely rewire your belief, your messaging, your identity that makes high ticket clients say yes and 10K plus months feel like your new fucking normal. So this is deep work that is going to create fast shifts and clarity and results with regards to your belief, with regards to your messaging, with your content. It is just a way to get in the room with me, and you can save $500 on that intensive. But the ultimate thing that I think you've been thinking about for a long time is joining the Real Deal Mastermind. And when you join the icon tier for 12 months before the end of the week, so before Friday, March 20th at midnight, you will get $222 off of your payment, and as well an exclusive 2-week mini mind for Real Deal clients only. So when you join, you get it all. You get the curriculum, you get the weekly hot seat coaching calls, you also get a intensive with me to kick off your time in the mastermind, and you get the VIP Telegram channel with coaching support 2 days a week, reviews of your copy, and on-demand content reviews as well. And we also have the monthly client events, mini programs, all of these things, as well as the subconscious reprogramming vault, the codes with hypnosis tracks, all of those things. So you get the weekly coaching, you get the 2 days with me in Telegram, you get the curriculum, the courses, fucking everything, but you also get an exclusive 2-week mini mind that I am doing only for clients inside of The Real Deal, and that is called Ruthless. I ran a mini mind called Ruthless and Rich back in August, and it was such a huge hit. And this is designed to kick off your time in the mastermind and launch you into Q2 at the speed of fucking light. Like, this is where you're going to stop overthinking because you do a content challenge that is pretty difficult, but when you're up for the challenge, it is going to blow your fucking mind. So you're going to actually stop overthinking your content. You're going to stop waiting until it's fucking perfect and just start posting like you have nothing to lose. Ruthless is 2 weeks of intense, fast-paced content momentum where you get out of your head and into execution mode. So you're posting the hot, spicy takes consistently and watching what happens when you finally stop holding back. And I'm on the ride with you. You get daily coaching in Telegram Monday to Friday for the 2 weeks of Ruthless. I'm reviewing every single one of your posts and your reels and helping you rewrite your hooks, and I'm gonna be the fucking jet fuel behind your rocket so you can go to the fucking moon. Okay, so that is included when you join The Real Deal, and the birthday sale is happening until the end of this week, which is Friday, March 20th. And my birthday is on Saturday. It's on the 21st. I turned 34. I know, insane. And that link to get access to the birthday sale and everything, you can see it all. You can see the sales pages, all the good shit. That is all available for you at the link in my show notes. Now let's get into the episode. One thing about me is I'm always going to be extremely transparent with the way that I run my business and who I am and the things that I do and also the fucking hard shit. And there was also a time where I was very good at protecting myself from you know, the things that would cause me to spin out or the things that were like exceptionally difficult. Like I can do hard things, but subconsciously, because I'm so self-aware, I can really pick up on like, okay, this is going to feel emotionally hard for me, or this is going to be difficult. So I'm just going to not even have it be in my view. But it was so funny because at the same time, I would be like, okay, this person is getting XYZ results. How come I'm not? But if I really looked at it, it was like, ooh, it's because she's doing that hard thing that you haven't even allowed yourself to think about doing, because you know you're so afraid of it that you aren't even going to consider it, and you're going to act like it isn't even an option. And this is something I had to confront as I was growing last year, and as I was really moving through depression and moving through, you know, like needing to show up because I loved the work that I did. But at the time, I didn't exactly love doing that work in the moment. Like there were clients that were not a perfect fit. There were containers I had that I was like, oh, like I don't feel inspired by these fucking containers. And I've told this story on here a couple of times about how I reimagined like the From Imposter to Empowered program, and I reimagined that into the Real Deal. And now, like, I love the clients that I'm working with. I love the containers that I've created. I love the smaller offers that I'm creating, and it's just a good fucking time. And it reminded me of how important it is to be like just into the fucking work that you're doing, like really into it. But at the same time, you have to have the consistency. You have to have the consistency. You have to have the devotion and the commitment. There are a lot of times where I don't want to be doing the work that I'm doing. And that is just my ADHD brain. Like I love to like rebel against routine, even though like sometimes routine is really needed. So it's just a roller coaster up here. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point of me telling you this story is because I was thinking about like the edges that I had to meet last year. And one of the edges that I really had to meet was doing live calls in smaller offers. Now, I can run hot seat coaching calls like nobody's business. That's fine. But I had gotten really comfortable with the people who were in my containers, and I only did programs that were for those clients. So I really didn't have an issue going on Zoom and like recording a whole training for them. But it was a whole different beast doing smaller offers, selling them forward facing to the public, doing a whole like launch and everything for those offers, and also doing live calls associated to them. Like I had run an offer or two where it was just access to me in like Telegram, and I dropped audios, and that was great. But when I joined a new container last summer, I was assessing the way that these people who I was looking at, how they were succeeding. And I was seeing them do these smaller offers, and I had done this before, but I kind of like retreated back into my shell. And it was a very uncomfortable thing for me to think about. Okay, every single month I'm going to launch a new offer. I'm going to show up and sell that offer. I'm going to get new people into that smaller offer every single month. In addition to running the mastermind and doing things for them and working with my one-to-one clients, I'm going to do that every single month. And there was an edge to be met there for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons being creativity maxing, and like me thinking that I would run out of creative ideas, and it just hasn't happened yet. Like every single month I've been doing something new. And of course, when you join the Real Deal Mastermind, you get access to all of those. So I did Story Slut, I did Scene, I did High Ticket Hottie, I'm doing Risk It All. That's already been done as of the end of last week. I'm doing all of these things that are smaller offers that are beneficial to the clients that I'm coaching inside of the mastermind and my one-to-one clients. And that's amazing. But it's also a way for new people to come in to experience me. And that was nerve-wracking for another reason, and that was around doing live calls and live trainings with new people that I hadn't met before. And the reason why this was such an edge for me was because I have a stutter, and I have this story that when people get to know me, they leave, or they don't like that I stutter, or they get uncomfortable. And like these are all true things that have happened to me before, but I have enough evidence that that doesn't happen with clients that are truly meant to work with me. And it took me a long time to really step into that and really allow myself to be seen in that way, because there are several clients that love working with me even if I stutter. And like I had to realize that this is not a fatal flaw that I have, it's just like who I am. And so the whole concept around doing live calls for my smaller offers was really scary, and like it also felt so embarrassing because I am somebody who has made multiple six figures up until this point. I am somebody that has made a lot of money online. I have coached a lot of clients, and it just goes to show that when you're not actively pushing your comfort edge, you're dying. And there was a time last year, especially in the beginning of the year, where like I retreated into my shell. I wasn't doing things. I wasn't pushing the edge of my own visibility. I wasn't taking the actions that like I subconsciously knew I needed to. If I was going to be entitled to get certain results, I had to start fucking doing those things. So I was like, okay, like if I really thought about it, doing these live calls would be a no fucking brainer. Like it would just be the most obvious thing. And instead I was trying to like create these excuses as to why I shouldn't do it. And when I told my coach that, I was like, you know what? Like I have this idea for this offer. I was really excited about it. I knew it was going to pop off and it totally did. And I was like, and I think I want to do a live call for it, but I'm scared. And she's like, okay, if the live call scares you, then you have to do it. Like you have to do it if the live call scares you. And I was like, you're right. So I get ready for this live call. I've been running this offer for 3 days. And actually, I'm also choosing to pitch during this live call because I'm like, okay, I'm filling up the Real Deal mastermind right now and I'm going to pitch this offer. It's going to be great. And I was also so nervous about that because I am somebody who loves to give all the information. I love giving value, and selling is not an organic thing for me. And you might be hearing that and thinking like, what, you sell all the fucking time. You love to sell. And of course I love to sell, but it's also uncomfortable for me as a people pleaser, as somebody who is like, oh, like people aren't gonna like that I'm selling and that I'm selling a lot. But I also like, I know how to push that edge because it needs to be pushed. If I don't, then I will just end up not signing the clients who I'm supposed to sign. I will not make the money that I'm supposed to make because I'm too afraid to sell. So I was like, I have to sell in this live call. And then thing after thing happened. I got my period early and I was like, what the fuck? So I was like in my luteal phase, and then I got hit with the menstrual phase. I was on day fucking 2, which we all know that's the worst. So, and when I'm on my period and when I'm in my luteal before I get it, my fluency is so off, like, and it's palpable. The change is palpable between when I'm in my follicular and when I'm in ovulation. Like I can tell. And obviously because I say that, it also like becomes a real thing. So that was happening. On the same day, a client had defaulted, which isn't a big deal. But when we sent this client like an automated thing being like, hey, you defaulted, let's get things going, especially because this was the second time in a row that she had defaulted. She was not happy with the professional tone of the email, and she sent me a very nasty email back, attacking my character, saying I was cold, all of these things. And I was like, whoa, like it really threw me off. Okay. And as I said, my stutter was really bad that week. So I had that happen. I also had like an instance with a client who was like trying to come back, and she had put down a deposit, but things were so different, and she had spent months kind of in this in between of am I joining, am I not? And I was at this point where I was really raising the standards that I had for who was inside of the container, and it turned into an issue. And she was upset that I had changed everything about the container, even though she hadn't been in the container for literally months. And it just became this whole conversation around like, this is unprofessional, that I basically didn't keep the rates at what she thought was acceptable. And there was just a lot of shit happening. And that is like the real honest truth, is like there were a lot of things happening behind the scenes. And that is just the reality when you have a booked and busy kind of business. And also I'm a very sensitive human. And when things are occurring, I'm not just this cold robot. Like I am somebody who has a lot of rejection sensitivity dysphoria. I am very sensitive to other people's emotions. And even though like I am going to act in accordance with my values and with my integrity intact and also with my standards intact, like I'm not going to just do something anymore because I feel bad. I still do feel bad. I still do feel bad, even though I know that I'm a business owner and there are things I need to do. I still do fucking feel bad. So I had all these things happen, and I was just about to do the fucking live call. And I was like, Jesus Christ. But I did my makeup. I blasted my Bad and Rich playlist that I have, that I'm obsessed with. And I did the fucking live call because I said that I would. And that live call in a mini offer made me $34,000 because a dream client watched the call replay and then DM'd me right after to get the fast action bonus for joining the mastermind. And since then, she signed on for 2 years into the Real Deal. She did an upgrade for 3 months into one-to-one coaching, and she's been making $15K to $16K consistently, cash per month for months now, like ever since she joined. But all of this didn't almost happen because I didn't want to do a fucking live call because I was so terrified of doing a live call. And I think about it and I'm like, fuck, you don't know what you're going to skip out on, and you convince yourself like, okay, but this is the choice that makes me feel good. I do things every day that do not feel good. Every single day in the business, I do things that don't feel good because I know that when I am prioritizing feeling good, it usually means I'm letting myself off the hook. And I think that this is a delicate, nuanced conversation that I need to think about more because I think it's the inner workings of an Instagram post that is coming to light. But like, I think that there is a difference between feeling good and like allowing yourself to feel joy and all of those obvious things. But there's a difference with feeling good in your business and like it's actually just allowing yourself off the hook and not doing things that are actually for your growth because you're afraid of how you're going to feel because of the discomfort. And an example of this, I would say, is like, it is not a comfortable thing for me to create content. I am constantly pushing the edge of like, what do my potential clients need to hear? What do I need to sell this week? Who do I need to be in the content that I'm creating? Because if I'm a leader and also like a piece of the work that I do with clients is content, like I need to exemplify what it means to create really activating, converting content as a leader. And sometimes that pushes the edge of my fucking creativity, especially during the luteal week or when I'm not feeling super hot, right? It pushes the edge of like time and having the time to like do carousels and talking head reels because I also know like I need to be visible. I need to speak to the camera. Do you think it's like easy for me to go live? Like, do you think it's easy for me to create talking head reels? Like, it's fucking not. But I am pushing the edge of my comfort zone constantly because if I don't, I'm going to die, like in terms of like the growth I'm having. And when I only do things that feel good or feel easy, those things aren't growing me and they're not growing the income that I'm making. Like, safe visibility turns into safe income. Like, I knew if I was going to blow up that I needed to be more visible. I needed to do these monthly smaller offers and I needed to do way more live teaching. And that really terrified me because, as I said, I have ADHD. I lose my train of thought often. I have a stutter. And when I'm nervous or when I'm in my fucking luteal or on my period, it's 10 times worse. So doing a live call where I'm pitching to a room full of new people because this smaller offer completely popped off. I made like $1,300 from like an $88 offer. Like, I just received an email attacking my character. I just received a DM from somebody who was upset that I changed things in my own business. Yeah, like I would rather die. And yet I said I was going to do it. And because I did it, I made that $34K sale. It turned into $34K because of her re-signing and signing onto one-to-one for 3 months and all these kinds of things, right? And since then, I have done over $230K in sales since the end of August. And it honestly was like a switch of a light. It was like turning on the light and being like, wow, I have been avoiding all of these like harder things because I subconsciously knew if I was going to do it, it was going to be really uncomfortable and I had to meet that edge. And I had to meet it with humility and not turn it into shame. And I had to do it over and over again. And now I don't even consider doing a smaller offer if there's no live call component. And that was only a couple of months ago. And now when I create these smaller offers, it's like, obviously I'm going to do a fucking live call because like that's where the teaching comes in. That's the juice. Like that's what they're coming for. And this is, but like, it isn't about the live calls though. It isn't about the strategy at all. It's about me doing something that is so easy for other people, or it could be, but feels like it's risking it all to my nervous system. The fear that I had of live calls and being exposed in that kind of way was so real. I was so uncomfortable and everything was screaming at me to not do it. And this is the uncomfortable part of the identity work. When you own a business and when you're actually fucking going for it, it rarely feels good. It rarely feels fucking good. But when you do something that the future version of you would do without a doubt, when you do it despite the doubt and fear and raging anxiety, when you do the thing anyway, you grow your tolerance and you actually end up doing more, achieving more, and making fucking more. Okay? So I want to leave you with this, that like, what is the thing that if you were honest with yourself about what are you not doing that if you probably started doing, you would blow up. And you can even have the conversation with yourself around like, okay, but if I was doing this, like then I would get success and I'm afraid of success and all of these things. Okay. That can be totally real for you and that's okay. But start here. If you were to do something that felt totally out of your comfort zone, but you see other people do it and you see the success that they have, and you're just trying to avoid admitting it to yourself. Like, if I were to do this thing or that thing, I would probably be really successful if I kept at it. Because also, I am not going to sit here and say, oh, as soon as I did that, like it was all so easy. It wasn't. Like I still had to do the live calls. And as I continued to do the smaller offers, I started going live way more. I started doing more front forward facing visibility. I started doing all of the things I needed to do, right? It was still really, really scary. And however, I saw the receipts, I saw the results of what was going to happen if I just faced my fears continuously, right? And again, it feels so silly because for a lot of people, going live or doing these things is super easy for them. It's not for me. It's not. So it's an edge for me. And when I meet that edge, it isn't about the strategy at all. It's about becoming the person who's fucking doing it anyways and doing the hard thing. And when I do that, I up level so hard. Identity wise, like I up level, I feel incredible. I feel unstoppable. And I learn something that I know is going to be so beneficial to the clients that I work with. And the reason why I have the results and the success that I do is because I am willing to be massively uncomfortable every single day inside of the business. Now, outside of the business, fuck no. I get treated like a queen at home. My husband has like this sciatic injury and it sounds a lot worse than it actually is. But he has been cooking all our meals. He'll tuck me in. Like he treats me like a queen. I love comfort and joy and all of the things outside of the business. Like I am a princess when it comes to my actual personal life. But when it comes to the business, I'm a fucking beast. And I am psychotic. And I truly believe that you have to be massively uncomfortable and be okay with being massively uncomfortable if you're going to be successful. Okay. I love you so much. I love you so, so much. The birthday sale is over as of this Friday, March 20th at midnight. Send me a DM. Go to the link in my show notes, check out the birthday sale doc, and then send me a DM if you want to talk about joining The Real Deal, because I am ready to welcome you in with open arms. And then we are going to be in Ruthless together those first 2 weeks of April to kick off Q2. And you are going to be going so hard. You're going to be going psycho, doing the uncomfortable thing. And you will see your results compound from even just those 2 weeks of huge uncomfortable action. I love you. And I will talk to you next week.